everyone! I hope you're staying safe, healthy, and happy in what has been quite the crazy time. I'd like to introduce myself first. My name is Maureen Haynes, and as of earlier this month, I am an alumna of the University of Tulsa. I graduated with 2 degrees, one being a Bachelor's of Science in Sociology, and the other being a Bachelor's of Science in Biology. And I had a lot of opportunities while I was at the University of Tulsa, but the one that stands out the most was the opportunity to do research as an undergraduate. My story has been a little bit unique, and I've had a lot of different research experiences while at TU, and they were all facilitated by TURC. And so I just want to walk you through my research journey at TU and explain to you why I think research is such a valuable thing for us to do and why the University of Tulsa does it so well. So the first project that I want to talk to you all about was a TURC project that I did actually as a high schooler. So I started as a junior TURC scholar while I was a junior in high school at Union High School in Tulsa. I worked with Dr. Michael Keller in the mechanical engineering department, and we researched the optimization of synthesis techniques for microencapsulated magnetic nanoparticles, which sounds like a crazy mouthful, and it's definitely not something that I understood when I first started in his lab. But working with his graduate students and PhD students to learn how to do this stuff, I quickly kind of broke the learning curve and learned how to do it. So what we did was we created these synthetically kind of little balls, like spheres, that had magnetic nanoparticles encapsulated inside them. And what you could use these to do is actually sense damage in infrastructure like bridges, which is a big deal in Oklahoma because we have some of the worst rated infrastructure in the US. And badly rated infrastructure can lead to catastrophic failures, like when people are driving over a bridge and it collapses. And so these can be used to sense magnetically. When they break open, they release the magnetic nanoparticles, and then you can actually sense that magnetism. So I worked on that project for 2 years in mechanical engineering. And then I took a little bit of a turn. It's part of why I actually committed to go to the University of Tulsa. I had already been working there for 2 years, and I was really enjoying it, and I felt like that was the kind of experience that I wanted out of a college career. And so when I got to the University of Tulsa, I ended up switching from mechanical engineering into sociology. I took a class freshman year and I just loved it. And I did another research project in sociology with Dr. Susan Chase. And that was Struggling Silently is Not Enough: The Experiences and Narrative Construction of Oklahoma's Public School Teachers. So I interviewed about a dozen public school teachers from around Oklahoma, both before and after the 30,000 teachers walked out on the Oklahoma Capitol in 2018. And I learned about how they experience collaboration and struggle and care and disrespect, and how they express their appreciation for people that really respect their careers. I did 10 in-depth interviews with qualitative coding of themes directed by Dr. Chase, who is an expert in qualitative research methods, and I ended up learning a lot about how people construct their reality and how they take their experiences and their narrative and use it to create this social world that they use to interpret their experiences. This was particularly powerful because of all the political upheaval in the education system in Oklahoma at the time. My third project, which I just finished up, was looking at the conversion of pigments from red to yellow in the avian visual system with Dr. Matthew Toomey in the biology department. Dr. Toomey is an expert in bird coloration, which is important for behavior and mating. And red coloration in particular is a very powerful color for birds to be. So you can imagine things like cardinals. They're very, very visually stimulating, and they use that for a number of different behaviors. That red coloration is actually produced metabolically. So they can't just ingest red pigments like a lot of things can and then just show them. They have to ingest other colors and then convert them through enzymes into that coloration that they then express. So we were looking at what genes are involved in this pathway and what are they doing by taking the genes out of the DNA of the birds, inserting them into what's known as plasmids, which are circular bits of DNA that are smaller and easier to work with, and then expressing them and kind of using chromatography to look at them and see what they were actually doing and identify enzymes of interest in this metabolic pathway. So those are my 3 projects that I did while I was at the University of Tulsa, and I want to just move into talking about why I think researching at TU is such a vibrant community and why it's such an important part of an experience at TU for a scientist. So the first thing I want to talk about is what's called the energy of activation. So we talk a lot in biochemistry and in organic chemistry about energy of activation, which is that hump of energy that you have to get over in order to start a reaction. Programs like TURC give students the energy of activation, that little push that they need to get involved in research, because it makes it a lot easier and a lot more streamlined for them to get involved. The second thing that I think makes TU such a great research community is all the people around. You have this amazing network of experts in so many different fields. For example, for my teacher research, I was working with a computer science professor, a sociology professor who was an expert in qualitative methods, and other individuals that were totally unrelated to the field, but that had these little bits of input that they could put into it. And so you can use the network of people at TU to really get the most out of your research, make it interdisciplinary, which makes it all the better. And the third thing that makes researching at TU so powerful is that there are many opportunities to present your research, like the TU Undergraduate Research Colloquium, which is an absolutely fabulous way for students to get that experience that they need presenting and communicating their work, but not necessarily going and traveling to a big conference and having all of those crazy nerves and stuff like that. And additionally, I was actually privileged to present my teacher research at TEDxU Tulsa. So my talk is on TED's website, talking about Oklahoma teachers, that was recorded right on TU's campus. So I've had a lot of experiences at TU that really prepared me for what's next in life, and research was the main one. I'm going in the fall to Northwestern University's School of Medicine to actually do a PhD in biomedical sciences as a research fellow. Because I'll be doing research, my PhD will be fully funded, and that's really something that I'm very grateful for. I'll be working to bring the lab to the community by finding clinical applications for rare diseases and doing outreach with those communities in the hospital. And of course, I'll be continuing to do research. So most of all, I just wanted to say thank you to you donors for making this possible, for giving me this opportunity to get involved in research and test things out so that I could get the experience that I needed to move into the next phase of my life. I hope that you all are doing well, and I just want to end by saying thank you.